Well, hello everybody, Dave from Mirror Arachnids. This is Cheeto's old home, which is now not Cheeto's home anymore. Actually, this is now Annika's home. She's actually done some webbing. I was really surprised. She's back right there. There she is. Female Grammostola pulchripes. She's actually surprised that she did this amount of webbing because I cleaned this all off. When I took Cheeto out of here, I wanted to make sure that I didn't want her enclosure sitting around doing nothing. I wanted somebody to get it, and I don't have any other, none of my African species are big enough for one of these enclosures right now, and none of my Asian species are close to being able to use this. So I went with, the Grammostola pulchripes. She's a female. She can get in the 7-inch range. So I figured this would be the best option for her. Move her out of the larger, she was in an enclosure, those are large 124 scale die cast enclosures, not the, more like the long ones for semis or whatever it was. I can't remember if those are 1/18 scale, I think is what those are. Anyway, so we moved her out of there into here. She's been moving around. She likes being all over the place, actually. She's been wandering. You could see this was the piece of wood in her enclosure. The rest of the stuff was in Cheeto's enclosure, just a little bit different. Not much different, but a little bit different. So that was our first move today. I did a couple of rehouses today, and I will show you those ones. We'll look at a few new things that came in. 2 things I'd like to give away. If someone's willing to pay for shipping, I'd be more than happy to send them to you after the new year. So we'll talk about commenting down below about those, but yeah, they were not a gift, but trying to help somebody out, move things out of their collection. And I was like, I could use 1 or 2. I've always wanted one of these, so there's actually 4 of them, and then another one that came in. It's a little bit different. So I will show you that stuff as well as some other things, and bear with me. Okay, so our next update was the large Zoomed faunarium that I got. We're already out of water, look at that. And who we were putting in there. And I did the poll on the community tab, and what people voted for was the Stratojar Starlingi. So I started thinking about it, and I said, that's not who I really wanted to put in here. Not yet, anyway, because first of all, she's in pre-molt, and I really don't want to move her. And second of all, I'm looking at these enclosures, and actually, this is actually probably too big for the spider that I have. I don't think she needs all this room. It looks nice. Okay? It looks really, really nice. As you can see, we'll move it to the side. A huge, huge mound of dirt here. You're talking like 8 inches. Oops, sorry about the microphone there. You're talking about 7-8 inches of dirt right here. But there's the little lady down here. This is the Ephebopus murinus, the skeleton leg. She is the one that won the Fatal Fangs battle with Alex. That was a close match. Really, really close. So, I hate to see Alex out of it because he's a good competitor and always does good clips. So hopefully, I asked him maybe we could do something in the future. We'll see how things go. But yeah, so that's who we moved in here. Sorry about the camera work here. So that's who we moved in here. Now, I'm not going to feed her right now because she's still actually jumpy, and she didn't actually dig where I expected her to. I expected her to dig in there, so this way. Actually started a burrow for her here. Well, she pulled everything out of this corner, brought it up, as you can see. You can't see because you're out down here. Pulled it all up into this area here and made herself her home. She started doing something back here, but she stopped. She just kind of put some webbing there and just left it. So she's basically she did the exact same thing as she did in her old enclosure, except she hasn't gone lateral this way yet, either way. I'm sure she will. It took her a while to do it the last time, and then she had an actual opening over here. So, kind of like a U. So yeah, that's who we put in here. So let's check on what else we got. Okay, so our next update is one of our crazy Sericopelmas. This is the Sericopelma species bouquet. Female. She molted last week. As you can see, she's enjoying a cricket right now. Actually, I did a feeding clip with her earlier that I think I have about 17 or 18 seconds of it saved. It's a pretty good clip that might be able to be used for the second round of Fatal Fangs. I actually thought it was a pretty decent clip, but who knows what will happen between now and about 2 weeks when I need to submit my next clip. I have tons of tarantulas that'll need to be fed. So yeah, this one definitely needed an upgrade. She was in a softball enclosure, so she went from that to a 124 scale die cast enclosure. Give her a nice log here for her to go in. And she is very, very jumpy. I have to get her water dish in. Where is that thing? I'm afraid to actually stick my fingers in there with it. I just had the dish here a second ago. Where did I put it? Anyway. Oh, there it is. Let's see what happens. We go to put this in. She is kind of crazy. She's not going to move now. You're going to make me a liar, huh? I guess so. She's going to make me a liar. Let's see what she does when I fill it up. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay, thanks a lot, Spider. Appreciate it. This girl does not have a name. I really want to get back into naming them, but I want to make sure I know what they are first before I name them. So if anybody has any ideas of a nice female name for this one, I'd like to try and keep it endemic to where they're from. You know, maybe something in in Spanish. I think these are just outside of Nicaragua. I believe that's where these are from. I have to go back over my notes again on where the species bouquet are from. But she's real pretty. You know, it's a typical red rump kind of tarantula. She's got a lot of hairs all over her. A lot of pinkish reddish hairs. Okay, what else did we do? Let's go find out. Okay, so here was the old home for Annika, the Gramstol poker piece. As you can see, it's the 1/18 scale die cast enclosure. Got some plants over here for anchor points for webbing. A skull that was in the enclosure of the tarantula that's in here. And this big huge skull where the tarantula is sitting right now. This is the Chilobrachys fimbriatus. This was I'm pretty positive female. The spermatozoa or the area wasn't completely developed yet, so it was kind of hard to tell for sure. But let's try and put something here and see if we can get to come out. I rehoused all these guys today. Well, the species bouquet, the Ephebopus myrnus, I rehoused, days ago. This was actually a pretty easy rehouse. This girl, she went right into her catch cup and right out of her catch cup right into that skull, so it wasn't really difficult. I actually had a pretty easy time. I do have a few more that I want to get done. My Chilobrachys species Cancroshawn I want to move. I also want to move my Tarantula lugardi and my other Tarantula species, or Marinus tete. I want to move those. We had 2 Neoholthelli insays that I wanted to get out of those little condiment cups into baseball enclosures. My Pierotis and B. vagans are both in major premolt, as well as my Brachypelma auratum, another one that's in premolt. My Cereopagabus sciati molted a few days ago. Don't know what it is. Molt's pretty much mangled up. Still small though, so it's not that big of a deal. Who else molted? I can't remember. There was somebody else. I'll show you that one too. You didn't get to see that in the baboons because it was in pre-molt, or not pre-molt. It just molted, and I threw a cricket in there, and I didn't realize it molted until I threw the cricket in there, and then I couldn't get it out because it went behind a piece of wood where the spider was. So we'll show you that as the Tarantula marinus Mozambique. And then we got 5 new scorpions, and you won't be able to see one of them. We could try looking at it, but I doubt we'll be able to see it. But these are the rehouses that I did over the course of today so far. Like I said, I do have some more I want to get done, and then I really want to redo the Hottentotta enclosure into something a little bit different. I'm not really quite sure what I want to do with it yet. I want to see some videos from some people and actually talk to a couple people that have them and have raised them and see how they kind of keep them. So I'm a little bit more spot on with them. So let's look at the things that came in. And like I said, we'll talk about giving them away here in a minute. Okay, another tarantula that was just rehoused just before I started shooting this video is the Caribbean versicolor. Moved out of a small little, I don't even know how many dram that vial is. I call it the European style. It's the one with the square bottom and then rounded on top. They're not very big. Decided to move that into the 50 dram. Should be good in here for quite a long time. You can see the little guys, little gun shy right now because we just moved him. He's crawling around on my arm for a little while. But still that beautiful blue. I've raised one of these, only one. I've only ever had one, and that was the one that turned out to be male. So hopefully we'll get a female. But this is another one that I probably will venture on getting another one, just so I have more than one, you know, to raise that odds of getting a female. We are going to be moving a lot of stuff out. I've said that before. We're really going to do some soul searching and moving some New World stuff out. I think I might move some of my Asian species out too. I'm just a little distraught with the whole Cheeto thing, and I know it shouldn't really stop me from wanting to get them, but I really enjoy the African species so much more, and I'll probably want to really think about working with them more and the Asian species a little bit less. You know, it's hard to say which ones I'd like to get rid of because I really enjoy them all. Chelobrachys I just absolutely love, and you know, the hottie and the shoddy and the Inanus are all really cool. Of course, I can't get rid of Oreotibialis and Kovariki. There's just too many of them. So probably won't get rid of any. So anyway, that's another rehouse that we did today. We'll see what this one does over the course of the next handful of days. I'm expecting this area right here to be where it builds its web funnel. That's going to be my guess. So we'll see how good I am. Let's check out another one. Okay, now as you can tell by the sticker, this is the Poecilotheria vittata. This was in a 50 dram vial and was almost 3/4 the height of the enclosure itself. Maybe not quite that tall, maybe a little bit less, but it sure looked a lot bigger in there than it does in here. So this is a piece of, I can't remember what the wood was, but I thought it was cool with all those little holes in it. I ended up getting this at Hobby Lobby. I might grab a couple more of these. I kind of like these. They're actually kind of cheap, and they work well for like small enclosures like this. You could probably use them for, you know, setting on top of dirt too, and have them for spiders that might want to crawl in here. That would probably be kind of cool as well. The spider's down the bottom, very down. I don't know that you'd be able to see if we tip it and then the water's going to come out. But I wanted to show you the enclosure before it actually starts going nuts and doing whatever it is it's going to do. Now, vittata do like to hide. This one's been out a lot only because it didn't really have a great hiding spot, and you can see that you got dirt all over it. So we'll spray that down and get that dirt off the sides and wash it right down, give some humidity in there. We put some, this is sphagnum moss from New Zealand. I always called it beaked moss, B-E-A-K-E-D. That's what I think the one package that I had before was called. I'm not quite sure that that's right because this one just says New Zealand sphagnum moss. I like it better because it's that lighter brownish color. I like the way it looks. You don't get a lot of it in the box though. That's the problem. I might have to see if I can order a bigger container of it online. So those are the ones that have been rehoused recently. Let's look at the stuff that came in now. Okay, before we do that, this is my Psalmopoeus victori. She molted either yesterday or today, early. You could see how vibrant those legs are. I can't wait till I see her up top where I can get a picture of her. You know, you can see how dark she is on her front legs and that lightish reddish brownish on the back side. Just absolutely love this tarantula. It actually fed not even maybe 4 or 5 days ago. So it fed and then molted a couple days later. I'm really ecstatic. So we're gonna spray this girl down here real quick, give her some moisture. This is another one that I really am adamant about really paying attention to. Not that I don't pay attention to the other ones, but there are some that you just, you know, they're your favorite ones. You kind of tend to look over them a little bit more than normal. Like I've noticed my Cereopagopus lividus has been out quite a bit lately, so we're gonna try and get a good feeding clip of her. I don't get to see her very often, but I've been seeing feed at the edge of the burrow, and she was actually all the way out this morning. So I'm going to put her here tonight on my stand, and if I see her out, I'm going to try and shoot a night clip with her. see if we can't get her feeding. And because we don't really get to see her very often, and she is just absolutely gorgeous. So Semmelpace Victoria molted a day or two ago, so we'll be able to get a feeding clip of her soon. So that's another one that we can possibly use for round 2 of the Fatal Fangs. So I'm going to water her and show you the things that came in, finally. Okay, so now before you guys start hammering me, this is not what they're going to stay in. This is temporary. Again, these 2 I would like to give away, whether it be, you know, a contest here, or just if you really want these, you know, let me know down below. Of course, this has to be United States only. I will send these 2 to you if you just take care of shipping. These are the Hadruus arizonensis, the Arizona desert hairy scorpion. These were sent to me by a friend. Addictive Arachnids, that'd be Carissa and Sean. They got scorpions in as freebies, and they're not really into them. And these do get quite large. I will show you a large one here in a second. But these 2 are just in here for right now. I'm hoping that somebody will take these, so I don't have to worry about trying to put them into something more permanent. If I don't get rid of these, or someone doesn't claim them, say, yeah, you know what, I'll pay for the shipping, you send them to me, by the 1st of January, then I'm going to have to put them into, you know, enclosures. I do have some long plastic enclosures I could stick them in. And I'll show you what I did with the other 2. I got 4 of these in, so let me show you the other ones. Okay, so here is the third. This one's comparative in size with the other 2, but I think the one that was all crunched up on the one side over here, that one was probably more about the size of this one. The one that you saw crawling around on the left was a little bit bigger than these 2. I'm going to throw a cricket in here. I don't expect them to eat, because they're scorpions and they're in my collection, and none of my scorpions eat. So, yeah, so this is basically sand mixed with the excavator clay. So it's a nice hard base for them to dig in. I put a piece of half round in there for it. As you could see, you could see the scorpion in there. You could see it in there. They can get out of this. He can get out of this enclosure if they stand up on its end, or if this one stands up and, you know, its tail's down. It's long enough to be able to get out of this. So I don't know a ton about these and what really needs to go on with them. I do know that they like to dig, and they do need a lot of room. And you'll see what I did with the bigger one. And I'm not even sure that would be a permanent kind of deal for that one. Probably would need something more in the 5.5 gallon thing. But I'll show you what we did with the biggest one. We'll try feeding that one too and see if we can't get that one to possibly want to eat something. Okay, so this one's big. That's what she wrote on there. Carissa wrote on big one. Yeah, this is a good 3.5, 4 inches long, maybe even, you know, with that tail stretched out. Who really knows? Man, this is a decent sized scorpion. So it's in the same thing as the Epipopus murinus is in. Sorry about that. It's a large critter keeper, and you could see his size comparatively, and pretty deep substrate. Same thing, sand. A little bit of jungle mix, a little bit of reptisoil, and then the excavator clay. This enclosure is heavy, extremely heavy. And I finally got to use my Triceratops skull. I thought this would be kind of cool in there. And the scorpion likes to crawl on that stuff. Hasn't dug one bit yet. So if this thing doesn't dig, I'm going to be very, very upset. I don't know how long these live. I'm pretty sure this one's pretty close to full size. So I'm going to take the lid off, and we're going to try and feed it. We'll try and feed it one of these butter worms. I'm not really quite sure if it will take it or not. Didn't seem like it wanted to eat yesterday. And these lids aren't the easiest things to take off either, because they're so flexible. Let me get my tongs. Oh, that one's too small. I get a nice big juicy one. There we go. Okay, let's see if it'll take it. I think it's something about this house and scorpions that they just refuse to eat for me. Come on, grab it. Yummy. They are beautiful scorpions. You can really see where they get the Desert Hairy, the moniker or the common name from. Oh yeah, you just get, seriously? Yeah, go away. Why wouldn't you? Craziness. I guess if you don't want your scorpions to eat anymore, send them to me, and I will make sure that that happens. So, those are the new things. Oh, one more. I'll show you one more. A flat little baby flat rock scorpion. I know those things get big too. I didn't realize they get as big as they do. But yeah, so I'll give you an overhead view real quick here. As you could see, my hopes and dreams would be for this one. Let's get the light right here. Would be for that one just to dig right down into the mouth of that, and then dig straight down, because there's no, there's no back plate to that skull. But it hasn't dug at all. I know I've had friends that had these, and that's all they did was dug tunnels and networks, and then fill them in and dig another one. And sorry about the shaking back and forth. I'm talking with my hands, my Italian part of me. Yeah, so that's what I was hoping for, and it hasn't done it yet. So we'll see how it goes. But we'll update these guys as we go. But again, remember, if you're interested in the other two, please comment down below. You have to be in the United States, and you have to be willing to pay shipping. You're probably looking at anywhere from, we're going to say $40 to $55 would be to get those things shipped to you. Overnight FedEx. So actually, it's pretty cheap if you're just paying shipping and you want to have a couple scorpions. I thought my brother would take one, but he doesn't want one this big. So if he does, I'll give him the other smaller one. I'll just keep this one. So yeah, let me know down below, and I'll show you guys the flat rock scorpion. So we're going to end with the little tiny flat rock scorpion. I did not write down the scientific name for this guy. You can see it right there. Big, bulky head, bulky tarantula, tarantula, scorpion, even at this size. I didn't have rocks, so I just used flat pieces of bark that I've had here, kind of the same aspect. And this is one of those ones that I want to do some research on to see what we're talking about, what we need to do with them as far as, are we good here with just the cocoa fiber? Do we need something that's a little bit damper? What do we need to do with it? For now, it's going to be fine. But, yeah, again, these just came in Thursday. So, and I really honestly didn't think that they were going to come in until next week. So again, I was kind of ill prepared for it. When she sent me the message, a week before saying she was going to ship Wednesday, but I thought that we were talking after the holidays, and then boom, she gave me the tracking numbers Wednesday evening, and I was like, holy man, now I got to get everything ready. So I had to go get excavator clay and some other stuff that I wasn't planning on getting until the following week. But well, I wanted to get them later on in the weekend and get the enclosure set up for the ones I wanted to keep. Let that stuff harden up for them to start digging. Again, neither one of them have dug one tiny little bit. The ones that are trying to dig are the ones that are in the cocoa fiber. So I'll probably put something in there just for them to hide. But please, yeah, look me up down below. Send me a private message. Say that you're interested. I can do this one of two ways. You could take one and pay the shipping, or you could take two and pay the shipping. If you want to take one and then somebody else can take one, that would be fine, just as fine. But I prefer that they, whoever's going to take them, take them. Again, you're going to look at like $40 to $55 in shipping. But for two nice scorpions, I think you're getting a steal, because you're not actually paying for the scorpions. You're just paying for the means to get them there. I can't guarantee them. That's the bad part, because I can't replace them, and you're not paying for them, so I really can't guarantee them. I will guarantee that there will be a heat pack in there. They will be properly packed. They will be overnight shipping. Preferably, if you got them shipped to the local hub, would be better, because then they're not taking that extra trip driving around out in the cold. We can also wait a little while. I'm not sure what the weather's going to be doing here. We're supposed to have a polar vortex coming in at the end of the year, which is going to drop the temperatures and pile some snow on. So, oh, I forgot one more guy that I can't say guy, one more gal that I rehoused. I'm really excited about this one. I can't believe I forgot. So let's end with her. Okay, we have to be very careful with her. She's not settled yet, and she has been very flighty. This is the Chilobrachy species Electric Blue. moved her out of the softball enclosure into a mini football helmet display case. Gave her some plants, Tyrannosaurus Rex skull for her to go down into, hopefully, and then this piece of log here. There's her living moss here. If she starts to dig in there, I'm going to be absolutely ecstatic. I want her to be able, I want her coming out of right there. That's what I'm hoping. Oops, oh, sorry, we're losing the camera. But yeah, so we're going to end with her. She's on top there, as you can see, but still kind of flighty. Those are just fake plants. They look kind of real, but they're really fake. So we'll do some updates with her once she creates what her house is going to look like. And again, thanks for support. Look me up for those scorpions. And have a great Christmas. If I don't see you guys again, happy keeping.